Hi, everybody. My name is Vermel, and I chose to focus on the leadership of Nancy Lublin, who has worked with three different nonprofit organizations. I thought her story was interesting. She started fairly young in her mid 20s, and she just seemed to have a true passion for helping people, and I liked that. So her grandfather left her $5,000, and her vision became a reality. She started an organization called Dress for Success. They help people by providing them with the proper attire to wear to job interviews and to work. She was doing good here, but she admittedly became a little bored and just kind of felt stagnant. So she ended up accepting the role as CEO of an organization called DoSomething.org. And I thought this was responsible of her as a leader. Knowing when to leave an organization is important too, and maybe letting someone else come in and try to have the organization thrive and grow. So she was happy with her decision to take on a challenge at DoSomething.org, and she did a good job. She turned things around there. They were $250,000 in debt, and within her 12 years of working there, she generated revenues of $24 million. And this organization helped a lot of young people by encouraging them to get involved with causes that they were interested in. So this organization essentially helps others to be leaders in their own right. Very positive and encouraging organization. So a lot of messages were sent from Do Something to users about things going on in their area where maybe they want to get involved in. And they also gave advice about how to start campaigns. And a lot of the users shared what they were doing online and just encouraged each other in that way. But one day, a message came in from a young girl who said she was being sexually abused. So although Nancy Lublin was content on working at Do Something, she was very happy there, things changed when that message came in. And this gave her the idea to start her present organization, which is called Crisis Text Line. She loved her job, and it was bittersweet to leave, but she did resign. And in her resignation letter, she mentions that the success at DoSomething.org was due to having the best team around her. And she also said now someone else would have the opportunity to come in and lead. So with Crisis Text Line, her innovative idea took advantage of how younger people in this day and age like to communicate, which is through text. So unlike phone hotlines that may focus on a certain issue like suicide or something, it's proven to be more beneficial in helping with all kinds of crises instead of just focusing on one. So, and the privacy of it all was really convenient, and people seem to be able to be more blunt with what they say through text. And Nancy seemed to take a technical approach as far as starting this organization. She actually hired a data scientist. That was the second person she hired for this organization. And he traveled throughout the country visiting a lot of different crisis centers and in order to receive a lot of input from volunteers on ways they think would be more effective as far as helping others. He helped write a lot of data algorithms for the database that they created. So they were able to compile a lot of data from the feedback they received and from all of the texting from users. So Nancy Lublin's vision for Crisis Text Line had far-reaching implications. It was her desire that the information that they collected would prove to be helpful to many other organizations that helped people. So them being able to access this data and understand better the thought patterns about substance abuse or suicide could aid in their process in handling these situations. In one article I read, she said that some people did wonder why she wouldn't sell this data, but she just implies that that's the wrong way to think, in her opinion, and she's just something she didn't want to do. So this was indicative to me of her values. It set a good example and just reiterated her passion about helping others in as many ways as possible. There was another article I read, a few of her thoughts on leadership, and one was how managing strengths instead of weaknesses is more effective. And we learned about that too in class, how focusing on strengths is a better way to succeed because everyone is not good at everything. She also thought that giving constructive feedback was really important. And we literally just went over this in class. And we saw that it's crucial to give feedback as close as possible to the incident, whether that incident was good or bad. And she actually implemented a rule at her organization that feedback be delivered within 48 hours. So I thought that was pretty cool. And she also admitted that she received feedback from her COO about 8 years ago. And her COO ended up telling her that she was mean. And this really resonated with her. And as a result, she made an effort to change. And I quote, she said she is, I quote, so much better and happier for it. So I thought she had a positive attitude with that. And I thought that also set a good example of how she handled her feedback. So, and this was another good example because we went over feedback conversations with our boss. So as we've seen, a lot of leadership consists of decision making that bears a lot of weight. And you need people around you whom you can trust to implement these changes and just who share the same passion as you do. In our text, it talks about the elements of culture and how leaders must sometimes reshape it. And it sounds like Nancy Lublin did a good job of doing this. It's really important, and she saw how important it was to be able to manage change in a positive way and have everyone aligned accordingly. And to me, her being able to come in to do something.org and implement changes and change it for the better means that she saw the importance of building relationships and creating relationships and developing others. So overall, when opportunities have arisen, in her case, she has shown courage in taking on challenges to make a positive impact. And her actions, in my opinion, by implementing new ideas and thriving in a world that's constantly changing and developing, these actions are truly indicative of a good leader. Thank you.